Picture this. You're in a crowded cafe surrounded by noise and busyness. To your right, a nervous couple on a date struggles to connect. A young lady takes a photo of her cute pastry. Two boys dine with their father, one lost in a Mr. Beast video with headphones on, the other immersed in TikTok, ignoring their dad. As you turn to your laptop, you catch your own reflection, and it's a gut-wrenching reminder that you're no different from the people you've been observing. It's not just the cafe. At home, you play games alone. On good nights, you might share a GG and comms. On bad nights, it's cheap jabs at strangers. When you first moved here, you tried socializing. A game developer you met at a volunteer center seemed cool until his stronger views on the future of AI on X turned you off. And now here you are, alone on another Saturday night. Rather than risk bad friendships, you find solace in your social media feed. And it's not that you lack friends. After all, you've got your Discord buddies, college friends for meme exchanges, and the girl at your local gym with whom you share occasional awkward yet endearing glances. This is what friendship looks like in the digital age. Perpetually connected, yet ironically more isolated. Is this modern form of friendship changing core aspects of our personalities? How we think, interact, and even value friendships? Algorithms feed us content tailored to our tastes, creating echo chambers that narrow our perspectives. And while older generations shared common cultural moments, we find ourselves with fewer unifying experiences and more forces pulling us apart. So is this shift hurting us, or is the internet actually helping us find like-minded people? There's an argument for all sides in this conversation, and we're diving deep into this age of human connection to answer a question that might feel unsettling. Has the internet ruined friendship? Before we dive into that question, let's take a step back and look at how this hyper-individualized experience shapes our lives as a whole. Now sure, it's easy to get lost in the negatives, but there's also potential here. Ways that this new reality could actually enhance our lives. The internet has evolved into a series of ultra-personalized For You pages. What you see when you log into a website might be completely different from what the next person sees. And now that same customization is making its way into the real world, especially in retail stores. Imagine walking into a store and sensors know your age, your interests, maybe even your mood. Interactive displays change just for you, showing products that match your style and popping up personalized discounts. This is one way that brick and mortar stores can fight back against online giants, and one company called Alpha Modus is making this vision a reality. Their patented technologies allow them to collect valuable insights for retailers, while shoppers enjoy a seamless, personalized interaction with brands they love. But it goes beyond discounts and ads. Their 672 patent helps stores manage inventory and advertising in real time, ensuring shelves are always stocked and prices are dynamically adjusted to reflect demand. Imagine seeing a flash sale pop up on your phone as you walk past your favorite store. And then there's the 890 patent, also known as the personal shopper patent, which allows stores to provide you with targeted assistance based on your interactions with products. Imagine struggling to find the right size of jeans and a helpful employee magically appears with the perfect pair. Now this is just the beginning of what Alpha Modus can do to improve the consumer in-store experience. With recent announcements about listing on the NASDAQ, they're establishing themselves as leaders in the retail tech space. They're even securing revenue through patent licensing as major retailers adopt their technologies, underscoring how much personalization has already reshaped our world. Let's continue down this positive line of thinking before we get too bleak. The internet may have changed our friendships, but it's also made a lot of amazing things possible. Think about it for a second. We get to connect with people all around the world, keep childhood friendships alive, and even find entire communities of people that share our exact interests, down to the most obscure things. There's a community out there for basically everyone. With an individualized experience, you're served exactly what resonates with you, which has some strong perks. Especially in validation and feeling grounded in your place within the world. It's why we could easily find online groups, forums, and support spaces full of people who get us in ways our offline friends might never understand. This shift is part of a larger transformation in how we form and maintain friendships in the digital age. Friendships today look vastly different compared to what they were just 20 years ago. To the boomers in our audience, you probably recall the time when you could stop by a friend's house, hanging out in their living room until it got dark. Those hours were likely spent playing video games, or even better, getting lost in the boundless adventures of childhood. Wrestling, stunts, crazy dares, and causing chaos as neighborhood kids. Everybody lived in the moment, sharing core experiences with a small stretch of blocks they called the universe. Nowadays, the real universe is something most people can comprehend. Yet, younger generations will never get to experience the joys of foolishness. Equipped with a wealth of knowledge on the most random things, they seem competent at the surface. It's like conversing with an encyclopedia. But these brilliant minds are missing something crucial: the lived experiences that come with knowledge. Much like Robin Williams' iconic monologue in Good Will Hunting, they could tell you all about your music's flaws from a YouTube breakdown, but they can't convey the lived experience of creating songs with a broken heart hanging on the thin strings of your guitar. This shift is largely due to the internet, and while it connects us in unprecedented ways, we're also a lot more isolated and a lot less empathetic. Algorithms feed us tailored content with perfect answers to the questions lingering in our minds. Along the way, our content starts to warp into echo chambers that narrow our perspectives, reducing empathy in exchange for objective truths. Older generations had the grace to be imperfect. For us, if we aren't doing it the right way, why do anything at all? When this warped mentality takes root in a young mind, it's easier to reel back into a shell of yourself rather than confront your flaws. This kind of retreat isn't just personal, it reflects a broader shift in our societal dynamics. Do you remember family TV time? Those nights when everyone sat together, sharing laughs, arguing, and interacting over game shows, sports, or even your mom's favorite soap opera. It was a shared ritual, one that bound friends and families alike with universal relatable moments. Today, that kind of connection is rare, especially with friends. Try to jump into a conversation about a new trend and you'll often feel lost. Where did these new words come from? Who are these influencers? And just when you think you're caught up, something new pops up, leaving you knee-deep in last week's trends. It's like there's no common ground, only smaller and smaller bubbles. Without these universal moments, we start looking online searching for a hint of relatability. For people who get us. Like Reddit. This platform seems like an answer at first. Tiny communities where everyone shares the same interests, but that novelty wears off, and after a while you realize that it's the same echo chamber as every other social network, just orange. Another bickering, one-upping armchair expert cesspool that algorithms have turned the internet into. This fragmentation means that friends don't have a wealth of shared experiences to draw from anymore. We remain in our own bubbles, struggling to feel truly connected. And so without authentic shared experiences, are we losing the glue that holds friendships together? Of course not. We could just forget all about that and embrace the parallel dimension life we have on our phones. Whether we're waiting in line, grabbing coffee, or at a concert, human beings have a unique ability to remain engaged with whatever they want, all thanks to the power of a super rectangle. Not really, though. We're never fully present at any given moment. Mindfulness is on a steep decline, and studies reflect this. A study by the Mindfulness Journal outlined how there's a 95% correlation between smartphone use and lower levels of mindfulness. But it's not the phones that are the problem, it's the dopamine hit of anxiety related to the internet and social media. Instead of uploading posts for their loved ones, people find themselves pacing in anticipation for their followers to view a post, send in likes, comments, or any form of validation they can get their hands on. You could easily just send your content to its target audience, but internet culture demands the performance ritual of creating a public feed. You are essentially alone in the production phase for a play that nobody's really gonna watch. But if we didn't need to perform, you don't have to make every interaction a public feed. Rip off the band-aid of anxiety and begin to interact with the world in a literal, non-performative sense. Try sending that concert video straight to your friend, or the selfie to your crush. Skip the performance and embrace real connection. When the anxiety over likes fades, all you're left with is a calm, genuine bond. And that shift allows us to cherish what truly matters in relationships. Studies have shown that friendships during our teenage years are the most impactful. This formative time is a period where we begin to transition from naivety into individuals with unique and differing worldviews. At this stage, it's best to take risks, make mistakes, and engage in your curiosities. Nowadays, though, being a teenager is quite tough. Teenage friendships were once built on shared experiences and mutual forgiveness. You can make a mistake, laugh about it, and move on, knowing that in time, everyone would forget. In today's digital age, however, the landscape of friendship has changed dramatically. Now every misstep is potentially recorded and shared online. A single moment of poor judgment can be captured on video, forever etched in the digital world. Apologies lose their weight when overshadowed by the lasting presence of your digital footprint. Mistakes that once would have been forgotten are now permanent scars, replayed and remembered indefinitely. Who can you trust? As a girl who knows if your roommate is secretly recording your vulnerable moments. When you share private photos with your boyfriend, there's a chance it could be kept as some perverted trophy in a shared account with people at your school. How do you react? This new reality is a mentally exhausting time sink. The fear of having mistakes and choices immortalized or shared widely can lead to anxiety, depression, and social withdrawal. It also shapes your interactions, making you conscious of long-term consequences of your actions. Among friends, you never find yourself actually connecting. Sure, you smile in group photos and share memes in the group chat, but you're never actually revealing anything authentic about yourself. The looming fear takes hold and keeps you away from genuine connections. In extreme cases, we've seen some horrible outcomes for teenagers in this digital age. The permanence of every choice can change how and with whom younger generations are willing to connect with. We are obviously more connected than ever, but our social media friendships are extremely shallow. When you hop on Facebook, it's nice to see updates from the kid you met on summer vacation 14 years ago. He's a dad now. You like his post and keep things pushing. But when you stop to think, you remember how special it felt to befriend a kid who didn't make fun of your unibrow. For a moment, you debate on sending him a message expressing how much your short time together impacted you. Nah, you think. I'm doing too much. Here's the kicker. When are you actually ever doing enough? Where do you expect to find genuine connections if not willing to accept vulnerable aspects of yourself? Deep in our hearts, a part of us craves something more meaningful, something that the internet has taught us to bury. This always watching, never connecting dynamic is a double-edged sword with both sides leading to the same outcome. The internet's status quo is one where you never want to be seen as the person doing too much. You maintain the mystery, keep your haters guessing, you post your wins, so nobody ever considers the fact that you have struggles and setbacks. We've gone from genuinely connecting to constantly comparing. What's the result? A silent epidemic of loneliness masked by online friendships? Authenticity is gone. The facade we present in our social and digital lives is one that's almost impossible to decipher. We'll eventually find ourselves wondering what our real faces look like when we've been wearing masks for far too long. Shallow friendships have a strong impact on our mental health. They have all the masking of something genuine, but it's all hollow inside. It's nice to have someone to react with fire emojis on your post, but where does the friendship actually go from there? When you're able to foster trust, intimacy, and mutual support, the quality of your friendships will reflect better on your mood and outlook on life. The more we chase connections online, the more isolated we feel in real life. The internet once promised to bring us closer. In reality, it's built walls between us. Walls we might not even want to break down anymore. Now is the time to unplug. Picture yourself in a maze, stuck and frustrated as you hit dead end after dead end. What's the best way out? Stop forcing it and take a step back. Sometimes it's not about pushing harder, curating the perfect profile, or interacting with the most mutuals. Instead, it's actually worthwhile to embrace a new perspective. Unplugging lets you see the paths you missed. In an internet designed to leave you in competition with your peers, unplugging can be the greatest tool for charity. True friends are the ones who help us see what we can't on our own. When we unplug and set aside the performative elements of friendship, we open the door to more meaningful connections. With their support and insights, confusing paths start to make sense. But remember, unplugging isn't just about stepping away from the internet entirely, it's about choosing to invest in the people that truly matter.